a lot of air. So higher air system is better for whipping, of course, because you are making an emulsion of liquid and gas.
So did you say cyclodextrin goes in the water, but methylcellulose in the oil? Is that what you said, or no?
Yes, and that's because it is not oil soluble, but it disperses very well in the oil. Otherwise, if you put it in the water, it just forms a lump.
But the cyclodextrin goes in the water.
Yes.
Okay. And then, what kind of applications actually did you work on when you worked with HPMC or cyclodextrins?
Yeah, we were working on icing on top of cakes. So for a baking company, and their icing was kind of melting down because of high temperatures. So they wanted a whipped product which could withstand higher temperatures. So the whipping we call a stand-up test to see how long it takes for the if you just make like a long structure like a tower, you see how long it takes for the tower to collapse. So at a certain temperature, of course. So methylcellulose was the best in terms of providing most stable whip structure.
Do you know anything about like its acid tolerance?
For
methylcellulose? Like how tolerant it is to acids?
Yes, it doesn't work. Unfortunately, it doesn't work so much below 3 or 3.5 pH, and I think you're talking about less than 4 pH. So when I was there, we couldn't do very stable emulsions for very high acid solutions. So yes, it works best under neutral pH conditions.
Any other drawbacks to methylcellulose in the application that you talked about with the frosting? Like any texture taste? Yeah, any texture taste?
No, it doesn't have any taste, any texture. People don't like it on the label. That is one negative thing. Otherwise, it does not have any off flavor or off aroma or anything of itself.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Approximate like usage level, like what did you end up using in the icings? Do you remember? Like 0.5% or higher than that?
Well, for example, one product uses 0.2%, one uses 0.6%. 1% is almost always a little too high.
Okay.
So if you try 0.5%, that would be a very good start. You'll know whether you can reduce it or not.
Okay, thank you. I mean, yeah, we have looked at it before and approximately at that level. So it helps to get a validation. So thank you. In terms of, so even in icings, I'm assuming, if you're trying, are there things that you have worked with that will prevent like the air cell growth? Because what we are seeing is like a finer air cell is more desirable than, like a pretty big air cell. It's like a more finer texture. Are there things that you've seen that help with that?
Well, in this case, what helps is to start with higher temperatures.
Higher temperature?
Yes. By that, I mean when the liquid is less viscous, and when you have, and you also need to have a very turbulent mixing system with a lot of baffles so that you can get a lot of air intake. And now the kind of mixer that you use will be very important because different mixers provide different kind of air intake. So,
so two things we would like to probe into is like the rationale behind high temperature And second is the type of mixer.